Yo guys, what is good? Welcome back to the Uncle Sharma channel special Euro 2020 episode today, and I'm hyped, man. I'm excited because I've been looking forward to these Euros. Obviously, they've been delayed by a year, and the first match, what a cracker of a match against Turkey, and I couldn't get probably a better person. I don't think I could get a better person to preview it with me. You know, a big Turkey fan. Cenk joining me. Cheers, bro, for joining me. What is good? Like, let the people know what you do.
Yeah, man, I'm good. I like you. I'm so excited. For me, international tournaments, the major ones, Euros, World Cup. It's why I like football. It's why I watch the game so much. Trust me, man. It's all about passion, all about your country. It's, you know what? Words don't describe it for me. You know, I like my club. I support Tottenham, but when it comes to international, it's another level of excitement, passion. Because these tournaments don't come around every year. Do you know what I mean? It's once in a time. And what a game! What a game! Turkey, Italy, two teams that have been spoken about a lot, dark horses and stuff like that. But we're gonna get into it, dissect it, man. Thanks for bringing me on as well.
Yeah, man. I've left all your ats and everything down there if people want to check you out. Spurs content, yeah, like Premier League stuff, and obviously Turkey related content. Obviously, in the Euros, you'll be tweeting. Yeah. I seen your Turkish propaganda you've been tweeting.
Come on, man. Always imagine if we win. Oh my god, the timeline's gonna go mad.
But yeah, bro, like as you were saying, like both teams have been spoken about as like the dark horses. Honestly, out of Switzerland, Wales, Turkey is the team that I'm most worried about. How are you feeling going into this match? Like, you feel like Italy are the strongest team in the group as well?
I think Italy are the strongest, but our group is tough. You know, Wales won't go down without fighting. Same as Switzerland. They've got players with talent. So as much as I'm confident with Turkey and as much as I think Italy is strong as well, this could go either way. I mean, Wales are looking strong. You know, they got like the Gareth Bale. He can just pop up out of nowhere and score a goal. You know, Switzerland as well.
Gareth, yeah,
exactly. So I think Italy looking very strong, and I think this year especially they're defensively very organised, very good team, and Mancini's a great manager. So do you know what, bro? It's going to be a great group, and I can't wait to watch all the matches as well. It's going to be brilliant.
Yeah. Are you one of those guys that kind of watches just like Turkey? Or you just try to watch like all the matches?
Man, I'm watching all of them. Every single game, literally. No matter what, even in the World Cup, I was watching like Saudi Arabia. Every game, all 51 games, I'm watching it. I don't care, whatever. I'm just watching it.
No, I'm the same, man. I'm the same. Whatever, if something's on and I'm free, I'm watching it.
Yeah,
we got Toby saying Yilmaz golden boot.
Oh, man. Fingers crossed.
Yeah, let's talk about him, man. Like journeyman. Was he like 35 years old? How old is he now?
35, around that. It's crazy.
Yeah, and he led Lille to the Ligue 1 title, like crazy, like big massive achievement for them. A lot of people comparing it to like the Leicester. I don't think it's been spoken about enough. Like it's almost like Leicester winning the league. Like obviously PSG are big favorites every season, and Lille just a young team led by an old guy, similar to Turkey. I saw that the Turkey youngest average team in the whole tournament, 24.2 years old or something on average, like very young. And Yilmaz is like one of the
senior
veterans,
isn't it?
What do you reckon? You're gonna continue this form into the tournament?
Do you know what? Why I'm so confident is because all of our main players in that starting 11 have hit form, but very good form. I'm talking before we had. It was a mixture, really. There was a mixture of some players that played in Turkey weren't too convincing, but we've got a lot of players that are playing in overseas in mainland Europe in the big top 5 leagues. So that's why I'm confident. I mean, Burak Yilmaz has come to Lille and shocked France, shocked Europe, really, with what he's done, the goals he's scored, the impact he's had. This guy's 35, 36, and he's guiding his team, like you said, to the Ligue 1 title. You know, Mbappe, Neymar, just obviously they score goals, but he's done that ahead of them. So he's good, man. And the thing is with him, like you said, he's a journeyman. He's had such a weird career. At one point, he was in China. He's played for all of the Turkish sort of big teams that go for the. He's been everywhere, man. And you know what? Respect to him, because not a lot of players, especially in a position like striker, you get the old school centre halves and they can do it. You get the Pepes, the Thiago Silvas, but striker's different. It's hard, and credit to him because his stats this season have been unbelievable. Honestly, been great.
Yeah, man. You're right. Like it's I'm just getting up the team that you played in the last friendly against Moldova.
Yeah.
Is this would you say this is pretty much your like strongest team, or
Do you know what as well with the number 9 on the right wing, Kenan Karaman? He's improved quite a bit.
Okay.
However, do you know what? I'd rather see Cengiz Ünder there, to be honest with you, of Leicester City.
Hey,
He's had a
Leicester
bit of a
gang.
yeah. He's had a bit of a rough season with Leicester, but if he's fit and he's firing, man, I don't see why he shouldn't be in that team. That back fours picks itself. In goal, I think he might go with Med Gunok. Uradan Shakir is a younger keeper, but
Yeah.
seemingly in the big games and the more important ones, he does go with Med Gunok. So I think the midfield it picks itself really with Çalhanoğlu, Yazıcı, Tufan, Yokushlu as well, who's had a decent time in the Premier League with West Brom. But you know what? As well as that, there's a lot of creativity in this team, and I feel like Çalhanoğlu this is a perfect time for him to shine, man. I really rate him. I rate him highly, and Yazıcı as well. Like we're talking about Lille just a minute ago.
Yeah, bro.
He's been on top form, man, playing sort of like an advanced second striker role. He's been excellent, man. So I really rate him for that. And do you know what? I'm confident, especially with the back four. They don't worry me. Do you know what I mean? Not with Spurs when I can't defend or anything, and my heartbeat's going crazy. These guys are good defenders as well, and you know, with the Turkish passion, the slide tackles are going to be celebrating. The Italians are similar, a lot of passion, man. So I'm excited to see how Friday pans out.
Yeah, that's the defense there that you mentioned. Obviously, Soyuncu's been like amazing for Leicester.
Yeah.
You know, Demiral, he's a defender that I rate very highly, and as you said, like he's one of them guys who celebrates slide tackles, clearances. He's an old school, like proper defender. And in general, you guys, from what I've tried to watch a few clips today and stuff, you look like a very physical team, and you enjoy like sitting deep and defending, and like you don't mind getting a bit stuck in. So I'm actually quite worried. That's why this match worries me more than the others, because you know, we haven't faced a team like this. We haven't faced a team that's gonna, you know, our midfield is probably Italy's midfield is probably the best part of Italy's squad. You know, it's very technical. Barella, Jorginho, Verratti, even Locatelli, so very technical. But I don't know if they can can get stuck in and deal with physicality. So I'm actually very worried. And you mentioned Çalhanoğlu. And a lot of the Serie A guys, I feel like they will know a lot of these players quite well. You know, Çalhanoğlu, Demiral, Ayhan as well. He plays in Italy for Sassuolo. Muldur, he plays for Sassuolo as well. Cengiz obviously played for Roma for a while. So you guys, you got like a good core of players that actually know how Italy are probably going to play. So I'm actually really worried about how you guys are going to play against us. And how would you say you guys play? Are you like a team that dominates possession or more counter-attacking?
We're very aggressive, very sort of, we sit back, we like to sit, we like to tackle, we like to defend, sort of that vibe. We hit with sort of the counters, really strong counters. And you know what as well, when we beat France, it was clinical football. We got our chances and we scored. We didn't pepper them with possession and play tiki-taka and all this sort of stuff. We got the ball, we got it to effective areas, and we scored when we had the chances. It's simple as that. When we played Netherlands, mixture of individual brilliance, Burak Yilmaz scoring free kicks. We had a good blend of, good passing from Çalhanoğlu, Yazıcı, etc. So, do you know what? With some of your threats as well, Chiesa and all these players here, that some very bright talent. So I think we might go for a bit of a defensive approach. But I think if the game opens up, I think we have the players to hurt you, but vice versa. I think there is talent on both teams. I think you've got the quality in defense, nice balance between the younger yet veteran as well, sort of centre half. So I think it's going to be it's so weird because I feel like we're quite similar in certain senses. Do you get that similar vibe in terms of similar foundations in terms of defensively strong, yet there's players there that can score as well, and there's that good balance in midfield, etc. I know you spoke about the midfielders, but in general, talking on the team, for me, it's quite similar.
I don't know, man. Like I feel like the defensive thing is because it's probably going to be Bonucci, Chiellini starting for us, and I don't think, and I think a lot of Italy fans will tell you, or even Juventus era, this guy here probably will tell you, Bonucci's had a pretty big decline in his career over the last couple of seasons. He's not the same player, and Chiellini's 37 years old, so Chiellini's still good, but he's had his injury issues as well. So. And our fullbacks are not the most convincing. Florenzi's probably going to be starting. Spinazzola, he's like defensively, that's not their strength. They're both better at attacking, even if it's Emerson Palmieri, barely plays for Chelsea. So I feel like you guys actually defensively are probably better, and especially like in front you got Jorginho. He's not particularly the most solid defensive mid. He's great on the ball, but he's not. He's not going to protect the back line with tackles and his physicality. So I reckon our midfield and like front line is like a very un-Italian team. This will be like it likes to dominate possession, it likes to attack, but I'm actually quite worried when it comes to defending. To be honest, and you guys, one thing I noticed, I watched there's the UEFA put all the goals you guys scored in the lead-up, and a lot of them were through set pieces. You guys are really good on like set pieces, and that worries me as well. Because as I said, our midfield is quite small. We don't really have, apart from Bonucci, Chiellini, we don't really have tall people, like tall, strong people in our team. So I am quite worried for set pieces as well.
I tell you what, brother, I put a bet on Yilmaz to score a header. So if that happens, do you know what I mean? I'm happy with that. But you know what? That's interesting you say that, because when I look at those two centre halves, I just think class. Like, obviously, I understand with age that they are veteran centre halves. They've been playing for ages, since I can remember. But do you think that can cause you guys some issues? Like, are you worried about the age, the maybe the recovery, maybe lasting the whole tournament even, because games are coming thick and fast, and if you advance to some stages, there's going to be some young, very athletic talent. Does that worry you?
Yeah, that's what I mean. So, like, if we play, a high line, with Bonucci, the thing with Bonucci is he's always been iffy in a 4. He's always been really good when he was at Juve, when you had Barzagli and Chiellini next to him in the 3, and he was the middle one. He was like, he always got a little bit carried by them two. But when he plays in the 4, when you have to be a little bit more positional, he's a lot more shaky. And Chiellini, as I said, I think he's still really good, but I don't think he can play every 3 or 4 days. How in this tournament you might have to. But we've got the star boy from Inter, Alessandro Bastoni, behind him, who a lot of people would say he should be starting, really, because he's the future. He's the left-footed centre back. Even Acerbi, he's the Lazio centre back. He's had a really good couple of seasons. So I'm not worried in terms of if Chiellini gets injured. I'm more worried about that Bonucci, Florenzi on that side. So we'll see, man. But I'm not as confident as you think I might be in defensively. I am worried about, as you said, the Yilmaz header coming in. Juventus era.
What about Romagnoli? Did he get called up?
Nah, bro, he's had a big fall off this season, Romagnoli. Wow. He's been bullied by Lukaku into oblivion.
You had to get that in there, innit? You cheeky.
Nah, for real, though, he lost his place to Tomori.
Wow, okay.
Yeah,
man. I
was surprised that Tomori didn't even get a call up. I saw Ben White got a call up, but Tomori was really good in this area for 6 months, man.
Yeah. Wow, okay. Yeah. I mean, my sort of that I don't watch Serie A has just shown there, hasn't it? That I don't watch it too regularly. I thought I'd just ask anyway. But yeah, Bastoni is young. He's like you just said, he's the future of probably the Italian back 4. Maybe Mancini thinks big tournament, big players, you need that experience. Maybe he's gone for that sort of outlook, but we'll see how it pans out, man. We'll see how it pans out. But
man, is your back 2 then Soyuncu and Demiral, or is it Soyuncu and Kabak?
Do you know what? I don't know, because he's played Ayhan and Soyuncu have played better than Demiral and Soyuncu, if that makes sense. It's like it's weird.
So the guys at partnership, they're better.
Yeah, I think I can't tell you who's nailed on to be our centre back partnership. I think it will be Demiral and Soyuncu, but we'll see how it goes. I think that is our best one, but sort of we have gone for a back 3 sometimes as well. I mean, Ayhan's been in there as well. We've got a good crop of young centre backs, so it'll be interesting to see like what back 2 he goes for, really, like in terms of the centre half partnership as well. But be interesting to see, man. Honestly, Kabak as well is a shout, maybe potentially. I don't know if he'll start, but again, it's another centre back that's an option. So we're stacked there, really.
Yeah, you are. You're blessed in that position. Who would you say is like the weak spot of your team then?
That's a good question. I think our left back, which is Umut Merash, he's not playing for the greatest.
Not Caner Erkin, yeah.
No, man. No. That guy can put in a good cross, but in terms of tracking back, no. That guy's like a snail. But it might be. I fear maybe the midfield might get overrun a little bit. Do you know what? I think that might be the case. We've got some good sort of players there, but I'm not sure if they've got the engine, if you get what I'm saying. So
Yeah.
I don't know, man. If we come up against a team that press high and stuff like that, we might struggle in some areas, but I don't know.
Yeah.
We'll see, man. Because
It seems like he plays
yeah,
around with the formation quite a lot. Like
yeah,
every match I've clicked is a completely different formation.
yeah. I hope he keeps it a 4-2-3-1, but he might go 4-4-2 and play sort of AZZURRI, the advanced sort of second striker role I was talking about. Maybe play him then, and then when we're off the ball, he'll drop back and almost create like a free in midfield. But we'll see. I think we need the width, especially. So I think we'll see how it pans out, man. It's interesting. There's a lot of teams out there that you don't know how they're gonna line up, because it's. I mean, even like for example with England, like back 3, back 4, what are you gonna go for? Like some people don't know. Like we've not got a set. This is the shape. This is the way. It's been like you've said. It's chopping and changing.
Yeah, that's when I was making my fantasy Euro team, I was struggling. I was like, I don't know who's gonna start for these teams.
Yeah,
there's no like guarantees.
Is this 4-3-3 your?
Yeah,
is that what they go? You go for typically, Mancini.
Yeah, Mancini, since he's come in, he's not always been a 4-3-3 guy, but since he's come in at Italy, it's been like 2 years now, 4-3-3 till the end. He's played, I think he's tried to play like 3-5-2 here and there, but he's mainly been 4-3-3, and he's definitely going to be 4-3-3 going into this. Yeah. As I said, our strong point is definitely our midfield. Verratti is currently injured, so it'll probably be Locatelli coming in. He's had a really good season for Sassuolo, and a lot of the bigger clubs are looking at him now. So I reckon he could be one of the little surprise packages of the tournament.
Locatelli, man, he's so good, isn't he? Like people have been blowing his trumpet, but I can see why. He is talented, man.
Yeah,
very good. Like I'm intrigued to see how he does. You know, I like him a lot.
Exactly, bro. Because he kind of, obviously came up through the Milan youth ranks, but he didn't quite live up to expectations, so they sent him out. And now this season he's kind of blossomed. I really like him. Like, I love him to come at Inter, but it's probably looking unlikely. And I think this is going to be maybe Emerson coming in for Spinazzola. I think that's the 50-50 here. But I think the rest of the team, I think, and Chiesa maybe for Berardi, but I personally prefer Berardi because he's left-footed. I like the wingers that cut in.
Cutting inverted, and
you have Florenzi bombing on the outside. And obviously Barella, if you're Serie A Inter fan, this guy's he won midfielder. He won midfielder of the season for Serie A this year, but I think he can take that next step and become, like a superstar this tournament if he continues the form into the Euros. And obviously,
how about Chiro? Is he still bagging goals? I remember not long ago he was on like the same numbers as Kane and stuff, like in Europe.
Yeah, last year he won the Golden Boot. But this season is kind of not bad season, but it dropped off. I think he scored like 36 goals last season, so that's hard to like replicate. I think he scored like 18, 19 goals, which is still not bad, but not the same. But the problem with him is it's a big debate in Italy. Actually, it's funny because obviously you guys have got Yilmaz is your number 9, isn't it?
Yeah,
but with him is like there's a big debate in Italy whether it should be Immobile or Belotti. Because
that's a hard one,
Yeah, none of
where
the
do you see it, Immobile or Belotti?
I think Immobile is the better player, but whenever I've watched Italy, I feel like Belotti is better at being a sole striker because Immobile plays in a 3-5-2 at Lazio where he has Correa or someone next to him, and it seems like he's not that good at being the sole target man or like bringing the ball down and linking up. But recently he's improved, and him and Insigne have got a really good connection. So I think just mainly for those reasons, and he's a better like finisher than Belotti. So I would start Immobile personally.
No, that sounds good, man. Like there's great players in there. I'm sure your bench is. Didn't someone withdraw today through injury?
So where is he? Pellegrini, the Roma midfielder, had to withdraw due to injury, which is a shame because he's a goal scoring midfielder, which the squad doesn't really have. Like Barella's added goals to his game, but it's not really. He's not very good. He doesn't got that knack, that timing of the runs, which Pellegrini has. So he's going to be a big miss off the bench.
How about when you talk about sort of missing players? What about Zaniolo? Is that for you? Obviously, he's got the injury problems, but for me, I think he's excellent, man. Zaniolo is one of those players that I just love watching. I love the way he plays. The third man runs. He's clever. He's got that intelligence about him.
Yeah, no, he is a miss. I think he is the best. I think Definitely like Bastoni are the best Italian talent, so he is
Yeah,
a big miss. So we'll see now. But after two ACLs, man, I don't know
yeah,
if he's
man.
gonna come back the same.
So peak, isn't it, for him?
Yeah,
He's promising
yeah,
as well.
very very promising, and he's added loads of muscle, which I don't know. Like I saw some pictures of him looking tonk, and
Yeah,
I don't really know if that's a good idea. Adding so much muscle when you've got
we'll
two
see.
ACLs.
We'll see soon, won't we?
Yeah, yeah. So the guy replacing Pellegrini, as Massimo says, is Castrovilli. Plays for Fiorentina. He's 24 years old. He's a good
Yep.
talent as well. I like him. He's good. He's one of those like ball carrying, dribbling
Yeah.
midfielders, creative.
There's a
So
good plethora of talent coming through Italy, man. Really
yeah,
is. Like I think even if this tournament doesn't work out, the players that are developing quickly, man,
yeah,
there's some serious players there. And you think,
yeah. I
wow,
think
yeah,
especially when you think about like the bad period we went through between like 2014 and like
yeah.
2018. There
Italy,
was
we're not serious like that. Yeah, yeah, I know what
yeah.
you mean.
So now it's nice to see like actual talents coming through, and some of them like Donnarumma's now probably going to go play for PSG. Verratti's at PSG as well.
Mm,
Like bigger like world class talents like Barella's I think he's on the cusp of becoming world class.
yeah,
So yeah, it's good to see. That's why if you remember the Conte team in 2016, that was the worst Italy team I've ever seen,
wow.
and we got to the quarterfinal stage, and that was purely Conte. That was purely
Ah,
Conte.
don't talk about content, man. You're gonna make me cry here. Don't do it to me, please.
Is it still an open wound?
Oh man, my mind was set on Conte, man. I was thinking Don Conte with Fabio Paratici coming
I
in.
saw your video with like the sunglasses.
Yeah, man. I was thinking like all these little lines like the Italian job and all this stuff. And then look who we're probably gonna end up with. I mean, Conte for me is one of my favorite ever managers. Like right now, especially is with Inter yourself. I don't need to say much, but
Bro, he's the
he's
man.
amazing, man. He's so
Yeah,
good. I like his character. I like his energy. Fantastic man. Tactically, very good, and I love watching Inter play. Really, there was such a great team under him. If they can
yeah,
carry that on under Inzaghi, I think that he's a good manager. But we'll see how it works, isn't it?
yeah. Yeah, we'll talk about that. Let's just finish off with the match prediction, bro, for
Yep.
tomorrow. Tomorrow, 8 p.m. kickoff at the Stadio Olimpico in Rome.
Yep.
What are you going for, bro? What are you going for? What you
Man,
reckon?
I got to back the boys in it. So
Yeah.
I'm gonna have to go. Right, I give you a realistic prediction. I give you my biased, you know what I'm saying, passionate Euro 2020 prediction, yeah? Do you know what? I want to go for a 1-1 as the realistic prediction.
Okay.
And then my sort of biased side tells me 2-1 Turkey. 2-1 Turkey. And Yilmaz to score a header so I can get my bet come through, and then that'll be even better. Icing on the cake. But yeah, draw for me seems likely. The first game, everyone's a bit edgy. We don't want to lose. No one wants to lose. And then maybe a draw is realistic. I don't know what you're thinking, if you're going to smash us or not, but I don't know.
No. Definitely, there's definitely not going to be a smashing.
Yeah.
I think excuse me, it's at the Olimpico, and there's going to be a little bit of a crowd.
16,000.
Yeah, so it's not too many, but usually at the Olimpico there's not that many anyway. So
Oh yeah, I've noticed that. Yeah.
So I think they can do it. I think there will be some edginess. I think it won't be like an easy match for sure. As I said, I'm worried about us defensively a little bit with your physicality and aerial threat. So I'm going for a 2-1 victory for Inter. For Italy.
Why did I say yeah? What? For Inter? Well, maybe, you never know.
Yeah, I'm going for I reckon we're going to get penalties. So Jorginho stepping up with his little two-step, little hop.
Little jump thingy, innit?
Yeah. And then one, I reckon Immobile, come on, he can bag one and get some confidence in going in. So yeah, that's what I think, bro. But I wouldn't be surprised if it's a draw, to be honest.
Yeah, I can feel a draw, realistically, like first game of the season.
Would you agree with the question?
It is one of our I said it not long ago on this stream. I said this is probably our best team in a very, very long time. Since I can remember anyway. I'm only 19, but even my dad, for example, is saying similar things. He's one of the best teams and most exciting we've had for quite a long time, and especially the fact we've got a lot of players playing in the top 5 leagues is even more promising. Before, maybe sometimes there were a few players in Turkey, not the best of quality and experience, but some of our players have been playing with the best in the world in terms of, you know, playing around with certain players. So it's been great, man. And fingers crossed they do live up to that statement.
Yeah, yeah. And in your coach is the same coach that was in the 2002, right?
Yep, Şenol Güneş. He guided us quite far, and fingers crossed we can do that again under him. He seems to have got the best out of Turkey from the other managers we've had. We've had Fatih Terim, we've had a few others here and there, but he seems to be able to get the most out of Turkey in the major tournaments. It might be his team talks, the way he gets to the players. It maybe just tactically, I don't know, but he seems to be getting the best out of the national team. So fingers crossed, again, we can do something like that.
Yeah. No, spot on, bro. I reckon in my prediction, I've put Italy to finish first in the group, but I've put Turkey to finish second. Would you take that?
I'll take it, man. Just get out of that group. I mean, even there's the best third place finish. So even if worse comes to worse, we don't perform, maybe we can sneak through that way. But again, man, to be the best, you got to play the best. So I want to play a giant. If we got to come against the France, Germany, whoever it may be, then bring it on. For example, Italy's one of those teams, you know. You've got to come up against them and show teams what we're all about. So I think I'll take. If you ask me that now, I'll snatch your hand off, man. I'll take that all day. But yeah, it should be interesting. But I'm not writing off Switzerland and Wales just yet, because we don't know. I don't know how they're gonna sort of roll out in this tournament.
Yeah, what do you reckon with Bale? We talked briefly on him. Like, there's some people saying that I've heard rumors that he's even thinking of retiring after his Real Madrid contract is over. What do you think of all of that?
Oh man, it's been a bit mad, really, to be honest with you. They're saying that, like you said, he wants to retire after sort of his contract expires, and he wants to. There was a rumor from Spain saying that, golf, and literally apparently wants to get out of the pressure and the limelight of football. Which, to be honest with you, I can understand a little bit.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? He's won it all. He's been there. He's done that. He's played, you know, at Tottenham and etc. Done it at Madrid. He's come back. You know, he's kind of like, what more does he want? Unless he wants to go to another country for a massive pay rise or whatever. I don't know if he can pay rise on his current contract. But, it's interesting, man. But I think he's got a lot to give. He's still only like 31, man. He's still got it in him. It's whether he's motivated to or not. It's all dependent on that.
Yeah. And Switzerland, obviously, they got their star players, Shaqiri, even though he doesn't even play for Liverpool most of the time. But these types of players, you know, Bale, Shaqiri, even if they might not play for the club, you know, they're going to turn up for the national team.
Man. National football is different. We're seeing how many players pop off at all these national tournaments. They get signed for a team off that, and then they're not the same. It's all about the hype.
We know we signed João Mario after the 2016 Euros, and he's been the biggest flop. Oh
my god! Don't talk about, bro. We signed Moussa Sissoko for £30 million. Don't talk to me about Euro hype. Yeah, trust me, it's not been good for us when we've tried it.
Clearly, teams should know by now they shouldn't sign players off international tournament hype. It usually hardly ever works out.
Yeah, exactly, man. It's a big risk. It is.
But yeah, bro, that's pretty much it in terms of the match preview. We'll just finish off because I just have personal interest in the whole Tottenham, Mourinho, Fonseca, Conte, this whole saga that's going on. I watched your a stream you did yesterday on the Spurs web where you talked with your mate about, you know, Fonseca. You don't seem particularly convinced. What are you saying?
Do you know what, mate? Like, a lot of the Spurs fans, and no disrespect to Spurs fans, I think Premier League fans in just sort of a context don't really watch football outside of England, and they're very disrespectful towards the Italian league, the German league, and all. Do you know what? I'm being serious.
No, it's true. That's why I'm laughing, because it's true. On Twitter, we always say like, these Prem fans, they call us.
That's what I'm saying, and it annoys me. Like, there's people, excuse my language, like slagging him off, but I can guarantee you, none of them have watched that Roma team play. None of them have watched him for Shakhtar. And they've only seen them get beat by Man United in the Europa League. And that's about it. And they're summing that whole sort of recent events up for his whole tenure and his whole managerial career. I've tried, I'll be honest with you, I don't know too much about him. I don't know too much about his team, but I've read up on it with an open mind. I've had a look at there's a documentary whilst he was at Shakhtar. I've had a bit of a watch at that. I've had a look at his Roma sort of shape, the way he plays, very possession-based football. But I'm going to ask you, man, what's he like? Because I don't know. I'll be honest with you. I'm not going to sit here and I don't want him. He's not good enough. Like, what's he like? How was he at Roma?
I liked him personally. Like, if you follow me on Twitter, there's a few of me and a few mates. Like, we kind of always like back him because, in my opinion, the Roma job is the most difficult in Italy. I don't know how I would compare it to.
Is it about budget and stuff?
Yeah, so you have like you don't have the top team budget, but you have top team expectation, and then the fan base is like the most. Yeah,
that is us. That is literally we want to be that Champions League team with not the money sort of thing as well. It's crazy, isn't it? But what about his football stuff? Like,
but the fan base in Rome is like, it's absolutely, the passion is at next level. The fans will turn up at the training ground if you lose against Lazio or someone. If you're going like a little losing streak, they turn up at your training ground with the ultras. You don't mess around with them. So, and he didn't adapt to the Italian league, like the way of doing things, and it's like sometimes his record in big matches was awful. Yeah. Like I think only against Inter, like he got some draws. So for some reason, Conte couldn't like beat him until like the last match when we played them. But his record in big matches has been awful whilst he's been in Serie A, which just shows that he's not been able to kind of. They always want to play one way, like he never adapts, which is worrying. Which obviously, and they conceded a lot of goals. I think they conceded this season the most goals in the top 10, which is crazy. Like when there's teams like Hellas Verona in there, like Sassuolo or other teams. So it doesn't look good. But on a like human level, as a character, I really like him. He's very well spoken. He's like he's good looking. Like he's got charisma. He speaks well. And his footballing ideas is quite good. He's brought like young players through. So it reminds me a little bit of the Pochettino, when the Pochettino was hired by you guys. So I guess it's clearly showing that Levy is not ambitious. That's one thing I can say. I like him, but when he was linked to Inter, actually, as soon as Conte left, because he used to play 4-2-3-1, but then switched to more like 3 at the back. So he was starting to link with Inter. But even though I like him, I didn't want him at Inter because that would show to me that we're not going for the titles. So I can see your frustration in that part. But I think you like him as a guy.
Can you imagine going from Conte to, no disrespect to Fonseca, going from Conte to Fonseca? It's like, especially it's been 50 odd days since our manager appointment for a full-time one. It's underwhelming the fact that they sacked him and got Mourinho and then we got their manager. It's a bit weird.
It's a swap, straight swap.
But big up Des as well. I agree with that statement as well, man. But the thing is as well, I want to ask you another question. With Fabio Paratici, with the Juve, he's had a great spell there. How does that work? Because a lot of Spurs fans like me are thinking, so he's picked this guy. How do you rate that Fabio? Do you think they could work together? Obviously, it's his recommendation. So what's your knowledge on him as well?
First of all, shout out to the way you pronounce the Italian names I've seen on your channel.
Come on, I have to. Man of culture, innit?
Yeah, exactly. No, I rate it. Paratici when in Italian football, Inter's CEO is Beppe Marotta. So he was the CEO so Paratici was his right hand man at Juventus, and before that at Sampdoria. So when he moved to Juventus, he brought Paratici with him. So Paratici was like the transfers guy, and then Marotta's like oversees the whole thing. So then Marotta came to Inter. So Paratici was promoted to be the main guy when Marotta came to Inter 2 or 3 years ago. So he's had full charge of like dealings at Juve for the last 2 or 3 seasons. And from what I hear, he was really good with being the right-hand man. But you can see since Marotta's left the Juve, they've been on a downward trajectory. And he is. I'm not sure he's that guy. If he can be that main guy. Maybe Juve is a bit different beast because you have to expect to win every season. Maybe he does better when you have to build more of a team. But I'm not completely convinced by Paratici being the main guy.
The main sort of oversees everything. What about his recruitment for Juve? Obviously, you've watched Serie A more religious than me. Do they, in terms of hit and miss? He's not going to get every player right that comes through the door, but typically, has their recruitment been whilst he's been there? Has it been good? Has it been sort of that's a good little deal they've got? Or because I know he likes a free deal, doesn't he? You know what I'm saying? So he likes a big bumper wage as well. What do you think about that?
Yeah, that's the thing. You never quite know whose pick it was. You know what I mean? Like a lot of people will say, like they just say, like, oh yeah, he was a Marotta guy, he was a Paratici. Like we don't know who actually picked the guy. It could be some say, oh, the manager asked for him. Like we don't know exactly, but since he's been on his own at Juve, I can say he's not been good. Like the free transfers of like the Ramses, like very inflated wages. Rabiot as well. He's been okay, Rabiot, but again, like very inflated wages. That midfield has been their weak point for a while, and it seems like he's not really tried to address it. That dodgy deal with the Arthur and Pjanic as well by him, to be honest, as a transfer guy. But you never know. Like, at Juve is a different. It was too big of a step too soon for him.
We'll see, man, and it'll be interesting to see, like you say, with who makes the pick. Does Daniel Levy get involved as well? So I'm excited, and it seems the manager Fonseca potentially his pick. It's not been done yet. We know that. We saw with Conte it failed. So we'll see if that actually gets over the line and he gets announced as well. So it'd be interesting to see what he can bring to the club, and we've needed a sporting director for quite some time. So maybe he can bring some structure. But I've tried to read up a lot on. Well, I've been reading a lot about Serie A recently, so fingers crossed it works out. But it's interesting, man, for sure.
Yeah, man. Yeah, as Ashrafi says, Paratici was like the yes man to Agnelli, and leave him, bro, to keep his influence. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if Levy like kind of uses him as like for a while, and then fires him and says, takes back control of transfers afterwards and says, "Look, I tried. You guys told me to get a sporting director."
That's the problem, man, because we've been stung before where he got involved. We had a few. We had Paul Mitchell. We had a few others, man. It's not been great, but it's because of Daniel Levy's. He gets involved, so got to let the man do his job. At the end of the day, we brought him in for a reason. Just let him do what he can, man, and then we'll see how it works out.
Exactly. Nah, bro. I think you guys are gonna have fun though. You might not win anything, but
yeah, I know that, man. Don't worry. Maybe the Conference League against Roma, against his. I don't know. We'll see in it.
You never know. Mourinho coming.
Yeah.
Hey, man, but at least you won't be complaining about boring football. I can tell you that.
Yeah. Well, that's what Spurs fans were saying now, and now they're feeling even worse. So I'm not saying much, man.
Yeah, it was funny because a few weeks ago I brought on Fuad. He's a Spurs fan as well. He came on. We talked about Mourinho. We made a video like we were talking about is Mourinho dusted, and we were saying that maybe he should come to Italy. And he's come to Italy now. And I think, what do you reckon about Mourinho? Just before you go, like to Roma?
I think Italy suits him best. I think it's slightly slower pace to the Premier League. I think that as well. Like he's still got those principles in place, but the man management side has kept him back a bit. I think if he adapted it, then he would still be top of the range. But his man management, some of his techniques are still I'll be honest, they're outdated. I'm not going to disrespect Mourinho. I think he's still, for me, one of my favorite ever managers. What he's done, words can't describe. He's been fantastic. So I think the personnel at Roma, it's not great. So if he couldn't get something out of Spurs at Roma, is he going to do better? I don't know if they've got plans. I mean, they're signing Xhaka. I was like, whoa. And then I know he's a fan of him, but man,
I reckon Xhaka would be good in Serie A,
Was it another payday sort of thing? I don't know, but it'd be interesting to see how that works out, because would any of the big Premier League clubs take him, or league clubs in Europe now? Probably not. So I think he's looking at the likes of the teams of the kind of like the Tottenhams, the Romas, that sort of level, trying a bit of an underdog, trying to creep in. So we'll see how that works out. But I'm not convinced it's a great sort of move for him. I don't know. We'll see.
Who would you take from Inter squad?
Well, there's quite a few actually. I'd probably take them all, to be honest.
Not Skriniar. You're not allowed to say Skriniar. He's my guy.
Yeah, man. He was linked to us for a long time. We had our chief scout Steve Hitchin out in Milan to chat with the agents or Inter Milan people. Yeah. Didn't work out, but Ashraf Hakimi is one I love. Bastoni we spoke about. Barella is great as well. I mean, Lukaku and Martinez is out of this world.
Yeah,
I think there's a few players there, Matt, that are fantastic, and credit to Conte as well for getting that team playing. But I even think your goalkeeper's a bit underrated. I rate him.
Andanovic.
Yeah, what do you think about him? Or am I just saying that? Nah, you don't rate him.
Not anymore. I feel he was underrated before when we were like when Inter weren't good. He was really good, but now that like this season we've won the title despite him. Like, you know what I mean? Like he's made a few blunders here and there. He's 37. Like he's not that great anymore. But he definitely was underrated for like most of this decade because Inter were out of the Champions League and not performing well. But now that we're good, he's like dropped off, unfortunately.
Yeah, okay, I understand. Like, it'd be interesting to see with your ownership, what players go, what players come, is things going to change? And I don't know. It'll be interesting. Yeah, Brozovic. I mean, he's another one, man. He's fantastic. You've got a lot of great players, a good core. Are you worried about the future of Inter under Inzaghi, or you think he can do a job with the ownership problems as well on top of that?
Yeah, I'm not worried about Inzaghi. He was apart from Allegri, he was my second pick. So I'm happy. I think he will do well. But yeah, I'm more worried about the ownership situation. We've taken on like a big loan at the moment with high interest rate.
Ooh.
And if we don't pay it back in 3 years, that investment fund takes over Inter, which is not the end of the world, but it's just like this uncertainty.
Worried, isn't it?
Yeah. And
sorry, your owners are what companies? It's under what name? Sorry,
Suning.
So they've lost their stock prices have gone down, right? They've lost a lot of money through their normal income from their business. I'm not sure exactly what it is, but I saw something somewhere. They're losing out on a lot. That's why they had to sell. And the pandemic as well hasn't helped with no gate receipts and stuff like that. So
yeah, and Italian football already doesn't earn as much as other leagues, so it's already a bit of a struggle. So that's why I am a little bit worried. I don't think we're gonna be Scudetto favorites again this year, but I have faith in Inzaghi. Let the man cook.
Yeah, exactly, man. Let Inzaghi cook, man. We'll see how it goes. I think he's a good manager. What he done at Lazio with the budget as well is second to none, and I think it fits. Lukaku sounds like he's staying perfect, man. I don't think you should worry too much. It's just the transfer and recruitment side. If you can,
it's just that we didn't get to enjoy the title. Like 3 days when Conte left.
Conte leaving. Yeah, man. I feel sorry for you, lot. Is what it is, though, man. He's that character. If he's not happy, he's off. Adios amigos, innit? So
yeah,
it's what it is.
Well, yeah, bro, that was enjoyable. 42 minutes. Very enjoyable Turkey preview. Talked about Fonseca, talked about Inter, Spurs. Enjoyable, man. Anything to plug before you go?
No, literally, man. Look, Cenk FC is my channel. If you'd like to come over and subscribe, got some things planned for the Euros. I do a weekly European football show called Total Football. So a lot of that is going to be based around Euros, but transfers as well. I'm sure we'll be talking about Hakimi and stuff and Inzaghi, what business they do. So if you'd like to come over and subscribe, feel free. But remember to like this video, subscribe to Sharma's channel. Make sure you keep up to date. Probably the best Inter fan in English speaking on YouTube and on social. So make sure you keep up to date with his stuff. Yeah.
Appreciate that.
Other than that, people, for the Euros, I'm excited and fingers crossed a good tournament and everything goes well, man. But thank you for bringing me on. It's a pleasure. Man.
Thank you, bro. Thank you. We'll keep in touch. We'll see how it goes tomorrow, 8 p.m. kickoff. Good luck. Not too much. All right, guys. Make sure to leave a thumbs up and subscribe. Check out Cenk's channel. And Forza Italia.
See you later, guys.